Welcome, ladies and gents, to the Curse of Strahd, Chapter 2, The Invitation. Our heroes have been left at the, let's call it the, what's the name of the pub? Let's see, do a little recap here, because it's been 2 weeks. So, our heroes, Klugel, Zadisha. I gotta bring out my notes because I wrote down names. Zashida. There we go. Okay. And Mezura and Milo all made their way to Barovia, where they kind of came into this mist that led them there in various ways. All of them had different reasons behind it. Upon entering this mist, they came across this traveling caravan, a group called the Vastani, that whisked them away eventually and brought them to Barovia, where our main story takes place. Barovia is the realm of Strahd, as it's turning out to be, and our group is finding that things aren't quite what they seem, at least not on the surface. After making it to the Blood of the Vine Tavern, they came across a lady by the name of Madame Eva, who gave them a very untelling card reading that informed them that their enemy was none other than Strahd himself. And after realizing that they would need to acquire certain things or accomplish certain tasks before they took on Strahd, they were greeted by a Lady St. Cloud, person that was missing, or missing to the point that Milo was tasked to go into this mist that led them to this realm. She had no recollection of who Milo was, even though he's met her on multiple occasions. And the lord that he came with, Lord North, had disappeared on his own as well. So things are pretty chaotic. But the Lady St. Cloud, she came with a letter, and it was an invitation to Strahd's Manor. Kind of a fitting icing to the top of the cake of craziness that's been going on. But we are going to pick up there. The group stayed at that tavern that night and got a decent night's rest. But with that, I'll unmute myself. So yeah, we're live. Okay. I just filled in everybody. Well, I probably should have did this with myself not muted, but does everybody remember what happened in chapter 1 as far as where your characters might be?
Pretty much. I believe we were all resting in the cavern,
Yes.
and Zashida and Mazura both had dreams of Strahd, and I believe everybody had decided that we were going to have to go to the castle.
Oh, yes. That's the part I forgot. So that night, both of them had the dream, and they were greeted by Strahd, and he more or less said if they don't come see him by the end of sunfall the next day, it's probably going to be bad things that's going to happen. He didn't quite say that, but he kind of alluded towards that, so yeah.
Yeah, and then the other paladins and the lord in which I rode with just fucking up and disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that little plot line? Remember that little fun bit?
Yep, that's fun. You know.
And with that, I have to leave, y'all.
Thanks for playing. Bye. Have a nice time.
I also
I'll
have to
try
go
to be
out
back as
and
soon as
get
possible.
our.
I'll be on my phone.
Okay.
All right.
Peace.
Bye.
I have to go out and get our daughter. So
Okay. I'll wing
I'll
it.
I'll be back in like 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'll be
Okay.
fast.
So let's say the next morning takes place, and Mazerah, did you sleep any more that night, or did you stay up pretty much after the dream?
She got a little bit of sleep, but she mostly stayed up.
Okay. And you, Milo?
I slept. Yeah.
Okay. Somewhere in between y'all's watches, you may have noticed that that mist came back into town, and then it kind of like dispersed a bit. So the next morning, there's not as much mist present, but it's still like, it's still weird because even though you can tell like a certain amount of hours have passed and it should technically be daytime, it's not really like bright and shiny the next day. It's just still kind of dreary and overcasty.
So it's like a normal day in the UK.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, it's like England weather.
Just still dark and cloudy no matter what time of year it is. Got it.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
So y'all wake up the next day, eventually, and what do y'all do right off the start?
Mazera decides to do some morning prayers to her deity.
Okay.
Milo does a kind in a similar fashion, except it's more of just doing a quick maintenance of his weapons, like making sure the shield's in good condition and all that. Just doing an equipment check.
Okay.
But after the once he's essentially done his kind of like morning ritual, as far as like just doing a quick once over, like wipe down of his shield and his hammer and making sure all that stuff is still good and intact. He starts making his way down the stairs.
Okay.
I'm going to see if I can find something to eat.
All right. I'll probably join you after I finish my prayers.
Very nice. I'll see you down there.
All right.
Then I head downstairs to the tavern.
Okay. As you head downstairs, you notice it's relatively empty. There's one man off in the corner, like at a table by himself, sipping what appears to be wine. Like it's morning time and he's drinking some wine, so more for him. And
here.
I'm sorry.
No judgment over here.
And other than him and the barkeep, there is Pablo, who's sitting at the bar, just drinking what appears to be like tea or coffee. Something like brewed steamy.
All right. Yeah, Pablo the turtle.
Yeah.
Best driver ever. I kind of walk up to the barkeep and just
My good man, what do you got on the menu for breakfast?
We have eggs, bacon, and porridge.
I'll take an order each if you wouldn't mind, and then you got any coffee?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Can I get 2 mugs of that as well, please?
He kind of like nods slightly and then goes off to start preparing the food.
I go and sit at a table at which I can see the wine drinker already.
Okay.
Like I'm sitting kind of facing his general direction.
Okay. From what you can tell, he's just like sitting there. He's not really like looking around at anybody. That'd be kind of weird, kind of sus. But he's just sitting there and yeah, he's drinking his wine, minding his own business. But he's at a table by himself, kind of off in a corner, which brings more attention to him than it would if, well, actually, no, there's like nobody in the bar, so
Yeah,
you would
so he's sitting there just by himself with only wine. That's it.
Yep.
Okay. And then like what's this dude look like? If I can make out kind of what he looks like.
Let's see. He has about medium length, like shoulder length, blonde hair, but it's like slightly graying. Probably sooner than what you would imagine it to, due to his like appearance, or like he appears to be younger, but his hair doesn't really speak for him. There's like a somber look to him, but for the most part, he's like approachable. He has kind of pale white skin, and he's just wearing like regular leather armor, nothing too fancy, just over his like normal clothes.
Okay. I'm gonna hold until my at least one other party member shows up, so that way I don't go off half cocked and start some bullshit by myself.
By now, Mazura's finished up with her prayers and she's come downstairs.
As soon as you make it like to the last step, while Milo is not trying to check out the weird guy in the corner, Pablo like sets his coffee cup down, and like in a blink he's like at the last stair helping you down, and he's like, "Good morning."
Good morning, Pablo.
Sleep well, did you?
I slept as well as I could.
Understandable. Breakfast?
I haven't had any yet, but I am rather hungry.
One moment, please. And he kind of like goes off to help the barkeep prepare breakfast as well.
See how it is. I see how it is.
He's biased. He likes pretty ladies. You're just a grumpy man.
He's a super creep. Super creep. He's super creepy. Yeah. Goddamn
And
turtle moving too fast.
And Mazer is just looking for where Milo it might be sitting.
I wave you over.
And she goes over and she sits with him.
So, aside from old Pablo and the barkeep, seems the only other person in here this morning is a gentleman nursing a glass of wine in the corner.
Isn't it a bit early for wine?
I mean, I'm not gonna necessarily judge him for having a little morning pick-me-up, but at the same time, that's all he's got in front of him.
seems a bit unusual.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But based on how last night went with people just up and disappearing, I didn't think it'd be wise for me to just kind of go off half cocked, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes, I understand.
So, I guess the question is, do we want to handle this before we eat or after?
Mm,
And as you say that, Pablo comes up with the tray of food, and he like obviously sets the food in front of Mazarov first, even though Milo ordered first. And then he ends up giving Milo his food as well, and then his coffee. There actually is like a little steam pot of coffee that he pulls out 2 mugs and sets them in front of you and like pours each of you a cup.
Much obliged.
thank you, Pablo.
You're welcome. And he kind of like saunters back off to the bar to finish drinking his drink.
Okay, so
Well,
yeah, sorry.
well, it looks like we're eating breakfast first.
I'd hate for it to go to waste.
So Milo just kind of starts digging into it, like not like ravenously, but just kind of, just kind of tearing into it a little bit, like sipping the coffee, kind of eating with a purpose, so to speak.
Yeah. And Mazura just helps herself to some of the porridge and the coffee.
Okay. So y'all are just like casually eating.
Yeah, essentially where we're at.
Yep.
Eventually Pablo finishes his coffee and comes back over carefully. And he's like, plan on traveling any today?
We might.
I could prepare the carriage for you, if you'd like.
We'll wait until our other companions are awake to discuss with them.
Oh, yeah. Understood.
Just by just hypothetically speaking, how long would it take travel wise to get to the castle?
Castle, sir,
I'm trying to remember what the heck it's actually called.
Was it Ravencroft?
oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I knew, I was like, it's Castle something. I'm just blanking on what it was called. Yeah. Sorry.
Castle Ravencroft.
Sir, that roughly morning to evening travel, pretty far. If we go through the let me pull up my map so I don't say the wrong person. Whee! If we go through the Svalalic Woods, we could make it to the castle roughly sooner.
Right. All right. Well, that's it's good to know. It's good to know.
Make
Look across
a
Yep.
insight check.
Oh, he wouldn't lie to us already, right? 11.
So in regards to the current sitch, you kind of get the idea that Pablo might know something about the guy in the corner in a way that won't really draw attention to the fact, should you ask anything.
Hey, hey, Pablo. Question for you.
Yes, sir.
You you come in this tavern often?
The pretty regularly, sir.
That's good. That's good. Right. Do that fella in the corner over there with the wine coming here often?
Oh, yes. That's, the Bugle Master's boy. His, adoptive son, maybe. It's the best way to say it.
You say the Bugle Master's son?
Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah. Normally have his breakfast in a liquid form, or is this new development?
He kind of looks over and he's like, no, it's fairly normal.
Right.
They call him, Ismark the Lesser.
Ismark the Lesser.
Yeah, Ismark.
Well, hell, with a name like that, why would he possibly want to have his breakfast in a liquid form?
He sort of lives in his father's shadow.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense with the whole lesser thing, but all right. Well, much obliged. Much obliged.
He kind of like nods and goes back to the bar a little bit, hangs out.
Did you find anything out, Milo?
Well, our lovely individual sitting over there in the corner, sipping wine for breakfast.
Oh, she's back.
There's a bit of oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
I was about to say, you're not going to
Just
say
showed up
anything
randomly
about the
behind
random
Milo.
person that just...
You just show up, find anything out, like take a piece of bacon and eat it. Like,
His perception's in the negative.
Also, I sound okay, right?
Yeah. We can hear you.
You sound fine.
Okay, cool.
Well, our individual over there is Mark. I guess is the Bugle Master's son. Whatever the hell that's supposed to mean.
I said that right? Bugo master?
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we talking like the instrument, or is that like?
I think in Barovia it's like a position, kind of like a mayor, sort of.
Okay, because I was like the bugle master. I was like, all right, how good do you have to be at the fucking bugle
To become the master of it.
I'm the master of the bugle. All right, my guy, calm down. You got a trumpet with no note, like no things on it. Got it. Like, cool. All right, got it.
The best there ever was.
Look at that golden bugle on the ground at Johnny's feet.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I think it's about maybe we should go introduce ourselves.
After you, then.
All right. Why not?
Milo kind of hops off his chair and kind of begins to walk over to the table.
Azura follows him.
Does Does Zashida and Klugel follow?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm tinkering with stuff, so
Okay, so it's just
Have you even come downstairs, or are you just still up in the room just tinkering?
I'm just off in the corner tinkering away. I'm in the same room as you. I don't see a need for me to be there. I don't do the talky thing.
So Milo and Mazera get a lot closer than Zashida does. Mostly because he's not looking high enough. Basically, he doesn't notice the two halflings walking up on him, but he notices as Zashida gets closer and his eyes kind of like look up, and then he looks down sharply as there's two small people a lot closer than he thought they would be by his table, and he's like, oh, sorry, good morning?
Good morning.
How are you doing this fine morning, sir?
I'm doing pretty well, actually. And he like takes another sip of his wine.
You mind if I sit down?
Sure, friend. More the merrier.
Much obliged. I pull up one of the seats that's next to him.
Okay. and ladies, and he like scooches his seat out a little so he can stand up and like gesture towards the other seats for them to sit down.
Well, thank you. And Zashida takes a seat.
Thank you. Mazera takes a seat next to Zashida.
And he like shuffles back down into his seat. Do you all new in town?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, you could say so.
What gave us away?
We don't get a lot of visitors, so you kind of get used to everyone's faces.
Fair enough.
Is there a celebration you're drinking to?
Oh, this no. This just helps alleviate some of the stresses. Gets me through the day.
What can I roll to see if I can smell what's in the cup?
Oh gosh. Roll a, I guess, perception check.
Can I aid her in that, or do I need to make my own perception check?
Well, you can either do whoever's highest or with advantage, or just both do your own rolls and just...
Mine's a +2 on perception.
Where the heck is all of my stats on here?
On the cellular device, you gotta click the little doodah and the other doodah.
Thanks.
Let me back out of this app and open up this other app for this app.
Alright, look, hey, you know what? We do what we gotta do, alright? We had a little technical difficulties at some point at the beginning of this. By technical difficulties, I mean people were asleep.
Hey, we don't speak about that.
Hey, I didn't say who was asleep, alright? You dimed yourself out on that one.
I didn't
Alright? I
dime
just said someone
myself
was
out.
asleep.
You just dimed me out.
16.
16, okay.
Okay.
Is that with
What was
advantage or just regular?
I just rolled once. I didn't know I had advantage.
Well, I was asking like which one of us had the better perception, because I got a +2 to mine, but
Oh, I have a +3 because it's wisdom,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would just with advantage then, because I'm just helping you out.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, it's a 16.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to determine that it's some mixture of like a not quite moldy wine, but like
Ugh.
it seems a bit off as wine goes.
Yeah, Zashida kind of like crinkles her nose a little bit, like,
I kind of glance over at you and kind of just based on your response, like,
yeah,
you
it don't smell good.
I was gonna say your other form's like a wolf, so I imagine your sense of smell might be a little higher. You normally need to take the edge off this early in the morning?
Not normally. This is a recent habit, I'd say.
A recent habit. Well,
Why would that be, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, not at all, ma'am. It's my sister, adoptive sister. She needs help.
Help?
Yes, help. And he kind of like takes another swig as he like eyes the three of you.
now what could the bugle master's daughter possibly need help with?
Well, you see, she's been taking a liking to by Master Strahd, and it's not a good thing. I need to get her out of here, out of this town, and someplace safe. Hopefully.
Right. Now, are you saying that she took a liking to him, or he took a liking to her?
The latter, mostly.
Right.
Milo just kind of leans back like this is out of his wheelhouse. Like, what the hell? Like, this is like we are not a damn dating service or a turn down service, I should say. I actually I know exactly what I do here. I sent a little telepath to Nezra. Be like,
Okay.
what exactly should we be doing with this guy? We need to help this guy exactly? This is with telepathy, so she can return. She can like respond, I believe.
So, while he's telepathically talking to
Yeah.
Mezura, Zashida is just like, well, where's your sister now?
She's at the manor, the one here, my father's manor, the one he has in town.
So she's not with Strahd currently.
Can I be bold, ma'am?
Go on.
Are you familiar with Master Strahd?
No, actually.
Well, rumor has it he's a vampire.
Well, that's news to us.
He's bitten my sister twice now, and I fear that if he visits her again, he may whisk her away to his castle in the deep.
If he hasn't done that already.
Yes, we're keeping her at the manor because, as the lore goes, he's not allowed in unless he's invited.
That's good to know.
Yes. Yes. But I hope to get
And-
oh, sorry.
No, you can finish.
Oh, but I hope to get away to safety to Valaki. I hear that they are pretty well guarded for the town, in hopes that it might protect her from Strahd's random appearances.
And where is this place exactly?
Let's open up the map and see where Valaki is to all of y'all.
Oh, Valaki. Kinda sounds like Valadi.
Ah! It's to the northwest a bit. It's many days travel.
I see. Is there anything else you know about Strahd, if you don't mind me asking?
The locals.
That we should be aware of?
The locals. The people around here. They don't like his wrath, so they have a habit of doing as he says. Or commands.
Fair enough.
Right.
And
Okay.
Azura responds to Milo's earlier messages telepathically. We have to go to Strahd's castle anyway, so there's a chance, depending on what we find out, we may end up getting entangled in this current mess anyway.
Yeah, but if we're going to the castle, it doesn't exactly benefit us to bring a girl that they're trying to keep away from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't necessarily want to use a young woman as a bargaining chip. It's kind of makes my skin crawl a little bit.
Yeah.
And while they're
I wouldn't
still
desire.
talking telepathically,
Well, this conversation would have been happening as you guys were talking.
Oh yeah.
As you two were talking, we would have been talking. But obviously, for like streaming purposes, we can't talk over each other. Although, as funny as that would be, like,
All right. So I guess I don't know, because it sounds an awful lot like she'd be safer here. All right.
I kind of pull out of the telepathy and just kind of go back to speaking normally.
Well, no offense, but it seems like what is her father's manor, or your father's manor, I should say, not a safe enough destination for her? I feel like transitioning her to a new place that's, as you said, it many days' travel would put her more in harm's way.
Yes and no. Currently, she's more or less under house arrest. She hasn't left the manor in days. I'd want a better life for her than that. If at all possible. And our father, bless him, hasn't been able to get away from work enough to actually send proper assistance in the matter.
too busy for his own daughter.
Yes, well, wouldn't be the first.
Yeah, it's doesn't exactly sound like a great situation for her in either direction there. But well, We, I don't know if necessarily her traveling with us would be a good help, because, well, we're actually going to meet the individual, so.
He kind of like jostles his wine a little bit. He's like, You're going to meet the devil at the top.
Unfortunately, we don't have any choice.
Kind of giving an ultimatum, and, well, I'd rather look the devil in the eye, as you put it.
You must seek caution. Well, you ladies at least.
I beg your pardon?
Strahd has a habit of preying on females.
Yeah, I've known a few men to do that, especially lords. Well, what's the difference?
The difference is death.
Yeah, once again, that's typically right along with the lords going after the women, yeah. Oh, you're saying the vampiric sort of thing?
Yes, the eternal death.
Now, I'd hate to poke a little hole in your eternal death, so I'll just let that one ride. Look, kill him more of a guide to me. Dead is dead, and, well, living is for the living, so, not too worried about, your lord. If he is in fact undead and unnatural, well, I believe my God will see me through.
Well, that sounds fair. It's strange to find someone with such prominent faith in these times.
Well, you gotta have faith in something. And between my hammer, my shield, and, well, the whiskey, I figured why not add a little faith to it. So my question then for you, which by the way I do apologize, I'm aware of my manners. My name is Milo.
Nice to meet you, Milo. I'm, Ismark.
Ismark. Now, Ismark, if I may be so bold, why are you called Ismark the Lesser?
It's not a noteworthy title, I'm afraid. I get referred to that, 'cause I'm
Don't say it.
the not favorite child?
Run to the litter?
More or less. I was married into the family, the Colian family. My sister, Iriana Coliana, is my father's prized daughter, and well, yeah.
What was that name one more time? Her name?
Irina Koliana, Ireena, Kolyana, and I think just because of like the traditions in their land, if it's female, they usually put an A at the end of the family name.
Okay.
So like the family name itself would be Kolyan.
Okay.
Or
Well,
Kolyan? Kolyan? I don't know.
Is now
Kolyana.
is Iriana or Irian? How do you say the name one more time?
Irina? Sorry. Arena!
Now is Arena the one who's having some issues with old boy? Or is
Yes.
this another
She's
daughter?
the one that's been bitten by him twice.
So, I'm sorry. I guess I'm just a little slow on the uptake on these sides. Still a little early morning for me. You mean to tell me that the Bugle Master's prize daughter is being sought after by Master Strahd, and he's too busy for her? Well, shit. That's how he treats his prize daughter. I shudder to think how he treats you.
Yes, well, again, the residents here don't like to see the master upset. So whether my father's actually heard news of what my sister's befallen, there's no telling.
Right. Well, what exactly are you hoping that we could do for you, if at anything at all?
Well, judging by your will arms, protection, possible.
Milo does a little flex.
Oh gosh. Protection to Valaki for my sister, mostly.
And Zashida's already on board. She's like, absolutely.
But
She wants to help.
if you're going to his castle, perhaps it would be better if we separated the two occasions.
Well, of
Yeah.
course.
Right. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, we'd hate to lead her right to him, especially if you're trying to avoid the man. Be a little counterproductive. Well, seems we got one vote for doing it. Well,
I glance over at Nezra.
what about you?
I'd like to help if we could, but we definitely have to get this situation with Strahd taken care of first.
How far is Klugel from us? Has he been able to hear any of this?
Nope.
How far away is he?
I'm like across the room, tinkering.
Cool. I ain't even gonna bother.
Well, considering
I just kind of glance over my shoulder and see Klugel kind of like tinkering.
something tells me he don't care one way or the other. So I guess I'd be outvoted if I swayed the other way to begin with. So, oh, who'd we lose?
Oh, okay.
Well, here's Mark. You could get your sister ready. We'll be back in hopefully about what? Tomorrow? Maybe tomorrow evening?
Sounds accurate.
So,
Oh, sorry. I thought. I bet.
So, I would have her ready for travel. I'd say by tomorrow evening. And then we will do what we can to get her to a safer location. That, of course, is if you're on the up and up with us.
Right. Yes. Also, I could offer my hand after we get Arena to Valaki. I'm indebted to you at that point, and
Well, no, I don't want to look gift horse in the mouth by any stretch of the imagination, but you sure that's wise?
And he kind of like reaches, he like sets his wine down. And he like reaches down and puts his sheath sword on the table, and he's like, I've trained my whole life for this.
I'm sorry. Trained your whole life for what? Life of adventure?
No.
Sleeping in the dirt?
No.
Looking over your shoulder, wondering if some bandit or some cutthroat's gonna come and kill you in the middle of the night? That what you've been training for your whole life?
I've been training my whole life to kill Strahd.
Whoa, now.
I
Jumping
like
the
his
gun a little.
enthusiasm.
I do as well, but no one said anything about killing Strahd.
I know.
Not a single word, not a single time has that left my mouth. I mean, I look over at the rest of the party. Did any of us say we were going to do that?
No, but
I'm sure the ideas crossed some of our minds.
Cross the mind, sure, but you know, we don't say that out loud because, well, hell, we don't know each other that well. And so, but if you really think that traveling with us and, well, dirtying up that sword in your attire is something you really want to do, I suggest you do a little soul searching over the next 2 days. And we'll discuss it when we come and pick up your sister. How's that sound?
Fair enough.
I'll be right back real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Milo is not at all. Can I get through? I guess yeah, like an insight check on this guy. Just kind of get like a general vibe of like, is this dude just gung ho and like wants to prove himself? Because that's the vibe I'm getting. Is that it's not that like he's like I want being the quote lesser. He's like looking for a reason to like prove himself, and I'm like, I don't need somebody going off half cocked seeking glory and like acceptance in his father's eye right now. We do not need some crazy ass out here. So can I do like an insight check on this to see if he's actually like being truthful about whether or not he's actually good with that sword and whether or not he's actually trained? It was like I've fought the dummies in the courtyard a few times. Ooh, never mind. I don't know shit. That's a 4. Man, that shit was sitting on that 20 for a hot minute, and like the fucking digital dice are like, nah, fuck you. Yeah, that's never mind. I don't. He seems. Well, it seems like yeah. So in my mind, he seems on the up and up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But, with that, like I said, prepare your sister, and we'll return. We'll go from there. That's about the only guarantee I can give you.
It sounds good enough. Thank you. And he like gets up and like goes to shake your hand.
I extend my hand out to him and take it.
And he grabs it with like both of his hands, like does the vigorous shake, and he's like nodding over to the two.
So now that I got his hand in mine, does his hand look? Because you said he was pale. I like to cast Detect Good and Evil.
Okay. And what does that do?
Detect Good and Evil for the duration. For the duration, you know if there is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where the creature is located. Similarly, you know if there is a place or object within 30 feet of you that has been magically consecrated or desecrated. So essentially, like, I can see around me, and like if anything is like evil or good or something like that, I can kind of notice it.
Evil.
Does it give like an aura or something?
I think that kind of depends on what you want to describe it as, but I have seen it described in a similar fashion of like, I can essentially, yeah, it's like I can read people's aura, like, whoa, amber is the color of your energy.
Oh gosh.
Or whatever.
So it won't tell
Where-
you specifically if a human is good or evil, but it'll tell you if they're an evil or good creature, such as undead or that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but if he's, for what I'm kind of, like, if I can pick up a vibe from this guy, not to mention, if he might be undead.
Well, you don't get
We got a pasty
anything
dude
off
drinking-
of Ismark.
Yeah, what about the rest of the room? It's a 30-foot circle.
No.
Like old Pablo. Does Pablo throw off any fucking weird vibes, or is he just being a creep?
He's not being a creep.
Aw.
He's an old gentleman.
Oh, uh-huh.
Hey, come on over here, little lady.
Come on in. Yeah, don't you worry about it, darling. I'll get you set up there. Don't you worry about it.
Oh
yeah,
god.
uh-huh.
Why is he all of a sudden Elvis?
Look, I have a feeling that's what he thinks he sounds like in his head, but because
Oh.
he's a turtle, he's talking slower.
Oh gosh.
All right.
But
So,
yeah, no, you
okay.
don't.
Okay. Yeah, it's all right. I figured it was worth, worth just doing a quick double check. Make sure we weren't talking to like a fucking undead the whole goddamn time.
His handshake is surprisingly like he's not like, one of those limp wristed, oh, let me shake your hand people. So like
Well, he grabbed it with both hands, so I hope he's got.
yeah,
some
well,
sort of thing to
you
it.
feel that there's gusto behind his handshake, like the veracity.
Okay.
And you can see that there's like his hands aren't like the delicate kind. There's like scratches and other marks over them from working and things of that nature.
Got it.
And he like sits back down, takes another swig.
Well, you enjoy your wine.
Thank you.
Milo gets up. I've said my piece.
It was very nice meeting you.
Same here.
And Mazura gets up as well.
And Sashida, she kind of like pats his shoulder and goes, "It was nice meeting you, and hopefully we'll see you again in the next couple days."
Yes, that sounds good.
Until then, take care.
You too. You all, actually.
He lets off a smile and follows Mazura and Milo.
Okay.
I just gotta go back to the table where our mostly eaten breakfast still sits.
So, we about ready to head out, or you guys want to try to take care of anything in the town?
I think I'm as ready as I'll ever be. I don't know how much more preparation one can do to meet a vampire.
Kugel kind of
And-
wanders over after he's done tinkering. He's like, "Hey guys, how's it going?"
Good.
And Sashida's like, "Enjoyed your tinkering, did you?"
Of course.
Frugal, you wouldn't happen to know how to anything or make anything that could deal with vampires, do you?
I can make something out of silver, probably. They don't like silver, right? I've heard the stories. Maybe out of garlic and silver. He starts murmuring about like maybe a garlic launcher made of silver and like.
Actually, so in this town, is there a blacksmith at all or anything like that?
A garlic salesman, perhaps.
Oh gosh.
A wooden stake salesman, maybe?
Yeah, there would be the typical, not like a fancy doodah blacksmith or anything like that, but there would be a blacksmith.
Zashida's gonna look actually for like a bookstore or anything regarding to like literature.
Let me see what the map has for me. Not that one. The actual Village of Barovia map. 1, 2, 3. So if you look at the Village of Barovia, the topmost area is the church, or like the E5 is
I
the
can't
church.
see anything on my phone currently.
Oh,
Where are we supposed to
We
be able to
also
see
cannot
this?
see anything.
All I got are 5
Oh wait,
cards.
map of Barovia. That's right, map of Barovia. The,
oh wait. Do y'all have Village of Barovia?
We do. We just
Okay.
gotta pull it up.
We
in
do, but I'm just stating I can't see it because I'm on my phone.
So, Theater of the Mind, y'all are at the Blood and Vine Tavern, which is like in kind of the center of town. If you imagine other houses surrounding that, and off to the northwest of town, there's a church that has a cemetery. There's a lot more houses, a lot more buildings, but for the most part, the Village of Barovia is kind of like clustered together. Like houses are kind of put next to each other really closely. The pathways either are gravel or cobblestone, depending. Cobblestone's usually towards like the center of town, kind of where you are. And it's big enough to pull like 2 carriages next to each other as far as like pathing goes.
Okay. Okay.
Are there any bookstores
Yeah, there's like
or like a library or something?
there's a small bookshop.
All right, Zashita's gonna head there.
Land of Barovia. Where is?
So Zashita's kind of like, I actually think I'm going to go see if I can find any books on vampires. There's something I want to look into.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Maybe I should just procure some of the normal things for vampires. Not that they'll work, but who knows? Go look for some garlic or something.
Well, Krugel, you're more than welcome to join me if you'd like. Maybe we can learn some things together.
Yeah,
I can
better to
help
get.
you.
You're right. Knowledge is power. Let's do this.
Very well. Let's go then.
Y'all stay safe out there.
And the same to you. And with that, Zashita and Krugel head off to go to the bookstore.
And away, robot lady, go.
So you make your way to I'm going to butcher this name. Bill Draft's Mercantile, which is kind of like a little bit across the street, maybe a block down, not very far. But they have all different kinds of stuff. It's kind of like a mishmash of wares and things. They mix like potions with like a couple of books and some other stuff that you might need. Like, it's all kind of like mishmash. It's like a mini Walmart. Mini.
And Zashita kind of goes in and heads over to the counter. Is there anyone at the counter?
Bill Draft is there, and he's just kind of like minding his own business. Human, male, commoner.
Excuse me.
Oh, yes.
I'm so sorry to bother you. I was wondering if you had any books, well, or have any knowledge of, and I'm sorry to be so bold, but if you had any literature or anything regarding vampires.
Like children's tales?
Children's tales, facts.
You might can find something over in that section, and he kind of like weirdly points.
And she gives him a smile. Thank you. And she goes to take a look.
Kluga walks up and is like, got any, like, garlic?
Garlic?
Yeah.
Got any grapes?
Never know a place where I can, find some food and vegetables. Specifically garlic. Running a little short.
This isn't a produce hut, sir.
You got potions. Potions are made of plants.
Right.
I'll be looking around. Just wanted to ask. Make sure.
And he waddled away. Waddle.
I go follow in Zashida's direction. Looking through the books with her and whatnot.
DM, do I find any books? On the
Roll
specific
a
topic I'm looking for.
perception. Actually, investigation. Oh no, perception.
Well, that plus 1. So 8. Yay.
Perception. 20, that's wisdom plus 3. Ooh, so 18.
So you are able to find a book called Van Richen's Guide to Ravenloft, sorry.
Ravenclaw!
Oh no! It starts again. Harry, did you put your name in that hat?
So Zashida kind of like scrolls through it. Like, what does she? Is there like?
I don't know. The book's
about?
not out yet. It's coming out soon.
Oh my life.
Let's see. It seems to be it's a book written by the monster scholar Rudolf van Richen. That goes over various happenings that have taken place in Ravenloft.
Alright.
As she's looking through that book, I'm like, look, I found a book on the flora and fauna of the Sword Coast.
That's nice, Klugo.
Start like flipping through the book.
Weaknesses. Just flipping through the book. Is there any like stories or recollections on like maybe weaknesses to vampires, or like maybe more specifically like the wood that they would have to use for the stakes?
So you're just like reading the book pro bono, trying to find out what you can. Okay. Do an investigation check.
Plus 1. 18.
You said 18? Okay.
Yeah, 18.
You're able to find that it appears that a vampire can only be killed in its place of resting. So even if you were to happen to, I don't know, kill Strahd, he would more or less retreat to his place of resting, and that's where you would have to like truly kill him. But there's been no documented actual record of anyone successfully doing that without, getting killed.
So, Zashida brings the book over to the counter. Excuse me, how much for this book?
He kind of looks at you, Bill Darth, and he's like, that piece of nonsense, 2 silver.
And she gives him the 2 silver. Thank
Okay.
you.
I put my book back on the shelf. I'm like, I already know so much about animals.
Didn't find anything new, did you?
No, nothing that'll help us here. I learned some things about some squirrels and stuff, but
Squirrel.
did you find
I
anything
think
good?
Well, I found this book.
Is it good?
From what I've read, and she kind of like flips through the pages to find the page where it says, you know, killing Strahd and his resting place would truly kill him, you know, do the stabby stab in the coffin.
Ah, so that's a no on the garlic or the silver garlic launcher stakeholder 9,000. Starts like scratching off things on his shield. Like, no,
Well,
get rid of it all. Rid of it all.
we don't know for certain. I mean, it could work, but there hasn't been a lot of what's the word on terms I'm looking for? Sightings of that actually being true.
Fair enough. I'll keep it in the back pocket, but still want to buy some.
Tries to erase the scratches from the shield.
They're magic, so I can't. But anyway. All right. I will be
think
looking
that's
for a
all we're-
produce stand now for the garlic.
Well, lead on then, Krugel. I think I've found all that I could here.
As soon as you come out, kind of like adjacent to the bookstore, but not quite at the Blood and Vine Tavern, there's a produce stand.
Perfect. Walk over, head to the head person. Yeah, got any garlic? Seem to be running a little short myself.
What? This like old hunched over woman kind of like looks at you, one eye open, the other kind of like scrunched.
Hello. Do you have any garlic?
Oh, you're tall.
Not as
Oh.
tall as her, as Zashida comes back.
Garlic, you say?
Yep.
Oh, well, 1 second. She kind of like rummages down underneath the counter, like, kind of like dusts off some stuff. I got this here bushel of garlic.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
So a 1 gold piece.
What? That seems a little pricey. Is garlic that hard to come by around here?
I don't know. You got any?
Fair.
I love this. I
I was
love
just
this
like, okay. Better way I can talk you down from that high price, perhaps for my continued patronage.
Let's say, all right. I'll give it to you for 1 copper
If
you give me a big old smooch right here on my cheek. Underneath the mold, though, it's a bit hairy.
no qualms there. I'm like, here's the copper. Slide it over, and we'll give her a big old robotic smooch.
Ooh, baby, here you go. Best business sale I've done all morning.
This giant robot with no warmth in his lips gives her a nice kiss, cold kiss on the cheek.
Ooh.
Pleasure doing business with you.
I was like, essentially, she just had a piece of metal just touch the side of her face, but
Oh, yeah. Make those bones. Woo!
I'm like, you have a good day. I'll be sure to be back. Let's get out of here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let me just go get with my
Christina,
friends
like,
here real quick. I'll see you in a little bit. We'll catch up, sure.
She wants robot. I don't know if she realizes that I'm not even male or female.
Zashida is like sees Krugel like book it out of that store like something happened because she wasn't even paying attention. She was like looking at the produce. Like,
Oh, so I got this garlic for a copper.
well, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Well, is that
As
all you
I'm
needed?
walking away still.
Why
Yeah,
are you
it's-
walking so fast?
I'm just getting away. Not a fan of
Getting-
people, you know.
Fair enough. We should probably return to the others.
Yes, sounds like a good idea. I think I've got everything I need.
Same. Lead on then.
All right, back to the inn, or wherever our meeting point was.
Well, it would have been back at the end. So while they were doing that, Mez, are you trying to go to the blacksmith as well, or are you going to stay here?
I think I'll stay here.
Fair enough. If I find anything that might be of use, I'll grab it on my way.
All right.
I proceed to then head towards the blacksmith.
Okay. It's more down the road a bit. You can kind of smell it before you see it. There's like big poofs of dark smoke coming out of one of the chimney tops from it, and it's relatively hotter in that region.
Okay. I walk in.
There is a what is it? Not gnome. There's a relatively young.
Dwarf? Is that
Yes,
the name
there we
you're
go.
going for?
There's the word.
I was gonna say, like, it's not a gnome. I'm like, you gotta give me something here, man.
There's a relatively young dwarf woman, just kind of like her face is covered in ash, her hair's like pulled back out of the way, just scruffed back. She kind of like stops and looks at you. Can I help you?
Yeah, actually, I believe you might. I'm looking to possibly try to get a little upgrade some of my current weaponry. And I heard you were the best damn blacksmith this side of the continent.
I think I'm the only blacksmith this side of the continent, if you're being honest.
Well, then the man who recommended you was in fact correct.
Kind of puts on like a little. He tries to like, throws a little smile at her.
How can I help?
I'm looking to see how well are you with forging with silver.
Silver's easy. It melts pretty quickly. Why?
Well, I guess my try to figure out exactly how much it would run me to get this silvered, and I produce the warhammer that I have, or possibly just to get the tips of these silvered, and then he gestures to the javelins that he has.
Okay. Usually it runs about 100 silver pieces.
So what is that, about 10? That's 10 gold, right? I'm not crazy?
I think so, if my math is right.
Yeah, because silvers are dimes, so that would be...
Yeah.
Yeah. So 10 gold pieces, all right.
For the hammer or for the javelins?
The hammer. The javelins are only gonna run you... How many of them do you have?
Well, I mean, I have 5, but we don't need to do all of them, depending on the price.
It's a silver per.
It's a silver.
You're
per.
just wanting the tips, like the blades of them.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I don't need to,
just a
we
silver
don't need
per.
to order. All right. So overall, that would be 105 silver then, correct?
Correct.
About how long would that take?
I can have them done roughly tonight.
Shit.
Actually, tell you what, I can get these silvered ones done pretty quick. Here in the next hour, the hammer's probably gonna take longer.
All right. Well, how's this?
Are you in a hurry?
Yeah, a little bit. We're trying to shove off here in a little while. I can probably delay the hour for the javelins, but I don't know if the hammer's going to take longer. I might have to take a rain check and come back on a later day.
Okay. Well, office there, just so you know.
All right. Well, here.
I hand her the 5 javelins.
We'll take care of this if you'd be so kind, and we will. And then when I come come back to town at a later date, I will more than likely get the hammer done as well. If the offer still stands, then of course.
Yeah, as long as I'm here.
Much obliged.
I slide a gold piece across.
This is a bit much.
Well, you've been very kind. You're doing a rush order on me for me, so I'd much appreciate it. I like to take care of the people who help me out when need be.
Well, if you're being this generous, I could expedite your order.
How so?
Do you have 2 hours to spare?
I could probably postpone our trip for about 2 hours.
Okay. Well, yeah. 2 hours, all of it silvered. How many gold pieces did we say?
Well, it would have been 10 gold and 5 silver for doing it with the initial
Okay.
pricing.
11 gold.
11 gold. Call it a deal.
I put the gold on the table. I slide my weapons across.
Actually, I'm gonna keep the one.
I just keep one javelin.
Just in case.
Yeah.
We'll have one. Never want to be too careful.
Well, I have a replacement javelin here, so if you want, you can hold on to that one and then trade it out when you come to pick up the rest of it.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. See you in 2 hours.
See you in 2 hours.
I stroll on out.
And she just quickly starts to get to work.
Now, just so I'm clear, are these going to be +1s, or are they just gonna? Are they just gonna go?
They'll just be silvered for right now, but which means that they count as like magical attacks. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. As far as like the character sheet's concerned, like, are they getting bumped up to +1? Like the greens, or are they just still staying gray? They're just silvered.
We'll bump them up to the greens. We'll do that for the
cool.
amount of money.
Cool. Just making sure. All right, let me take that money out of my pocket. All right. Cool. I make my way back towards the tavern.
Okay.
I walk in. I assume everybody's kind of back in there by this point.
Yep.
Cool.
Well, how'd the knowledge search go?
Well, I found this book, and she hands him the book.
And I got some garlic, and I hand him a clove of garlic.
We don't speak of how we got this garlic.
Wait a minute, is it a clove or a bulb?
The bulb, because I got a bushel, so I give you the full bulb.
Okay, I was gonna say, I was like,
The smallest little thing.
a piece of garlic. All right.
That's very nice, Klugel.
I kind of hand it back to him as I open up the book. I kind of like squinting at the book, doing my best to kind of like read.
What exactly is in this?
And Zashida kind of tilts her head. You can't read it?
Well, I can. I'm just, well, it would take me a long time. Let's just say that.
And Zashida nods in understanding, and she kind of holds her hand out like, "May I take the book?"
I'd hand her the book back.
And
Look, I'm,
she
I'm not a. Milo is not a smart man. All right, he can read. It's just you want him to read a book. That shit, like, oof. That better be a Dr. Seuss. Otherwise, it's gonna be a while.
So she flips to the page where, it states, a vampire can't be killed unless it's in a place of, of resting, basically.
Mhm.
And she explains it to the party. She's like, and I don't think there have been any accounts of that being successful.
Right. Well, I currently have, well, a majority
He kind of gestures to the fact that he doesn't have his hammer with him.
of my weaponry currently getting silvered, so, well, we should, have a little bit of a benefit heading in there, because even if old boy isn't quite as undead as the, tales are told, well, it might help against anything else that might be lurking out there in the shadows.
It would. Well, how long will it be then until your weapons are done?
Sorry.
She said about 2 hours.
2
Then we
hours. That
can,
gives us more time to prepare.
Yeah, so once we get those, I think it should be about time for us to shove off, because I believe he said it was about, according to old Pablo, it's going to be about a half day's travel.
Right. Well then, if you don't
Perhaps
mind, I
I
think
should
I'm going to
stop
pay a visit to the chapel.
By all
I'll
means.
join you.
By all means.
Well, let's go then. So Zashida and Mazara head to the chapel.
Okay.
I follow along because I ain't got shit else to do in the tavern.
Exactly.
Otherwise,
Klugel's going too.
I'm just gonna start drinking, and that's not gonna be good for anybody.
So the four of y'all head up northwest to the top of town to head to the church. Can I have you all make a perception check? Just as you're walking through the streets.
Of course. Now that I only have a javelin on me.
21.
9.
9.
Solid 8.
And Zashida.
19!
19.
19! I'm rolling good today!
Oh god! I'm
so
rolling
she's got
good
a-
from the backseat of my car!
So, and then I rolled a 21.
Okay, so Zashida and Milo are able to hear it first. I imagine all of y'all would be able to, but you hear like a blood-curdling scream from a woman not too far, coming from like the church's direction, but closer to you. If you knew
What
how
was
far
that?
the church is from you.
Well, that doesn't sound like any good.
Oh, sorry.
I'd put my shield on and then start trotting in that general direction.
Yep. Zashida's gonna do the same. She's gonna follow Milo.
Well, that's what the group's doing.
Uh.
Just not following.
And Mazura's following as well.
Okay, and as soon as y'all round one of the corners, you see this man walking towards the church, which normally wouldn't be startling at all, except he's completely on fire. And he's just taking like one hunch step closer, and another hunch step closer, and another hunch step closer, just slowly moving his way towards the church. Not getting very far, because again, he's on fire. The other thing that's slightly weird is he's not reacting the way a person on fire would normally react as he's making his way towards the church.
What in the hells?
Well,
My goodness.
This is new.
That's probably nothing.
It's just a flesh wound.
Oh man.
Yeah. And Zashida kind of looks around to see if she could see where the source of the screaming was coming from, which I'm assuming is from the cathedral or the chapel.
It's just like a passerby woman in kind of like a bonnet and dress, like pilgrim commoner clothes. She just has like her mouth covered as she's staring like horrifically at this man on fire just walking towards the church.
Right.
And you got anything to put him out?
I don't think so.
Fortunately, I don't either, but we need to do something or else he could set the church on
Like
fire as well.
Is there a well or anything nearby with a bucket? Like,
Do a perception check.
right. Perception, wisdom, so 21.
Okay, off in. Oh, you are rolling really well. Roll from your car from now on. No. You don't see a well, but you do see like a kind of like a watering barrel, where they feed some of the horses that come to like gather near the cathedral. It's
Wonderful.
just
Is there a bucket near there? Is there a bucket
yeah. It's like a big bucket.
Yep,
and then
she's
a
gonna,
trough.
She's gonna take that bucket, she's gonna fill the bucket, and then she's hauling it to go put the fire out on the dude.
Okay, and
I'm gonna move around to try to get in between him and the cathedral.
roll a dexterity check, Zashida.
Dexterity check. Oof. 11.
So you able to throw the water on him, and it kind of like puts his head out and like the top parts of his shoulders off, but like most of them still kind of on fire.
Oh, great. And Zashida's like, "Sir, are you all right? Stop, drop and roll."
The old halt, plummet, flounder.
Flounder. Not flail, mind you. Flounder.
Flail, flounder, I mean.
You ever seen somebody flounder on the ground?
Yeah, they're just like flop, flop, flop.
Kind of like Magikarp.
You just imagine this dude just like
On fire.
So the man, like, he doesn't say anything, but he looks over at you, Sashida, and you notice, like, right away that there's just, like, this untamed fear in his eyes, and he has this, like, drawn-out expression of just, like, intense horror, like he's seen something that, I don't know, nobody should ever see ever.
boy.
And as he tries to like say anything, it's just like
And Zashida is horrified by this dude's expression. Like, what the fudge? And, you know, she, like, knocks him. She's gonna try to knock him down onto the ground.
okay, just like to
Yeah,
knock him unconscious, knock him down, trip him up.
yeah, that was it's kind of what Milo's trying to do. He's just getting around in front and then just like literally trying to like seeing all this shit is using his shield to kind of like just push old boy like just on his back.
Okay, dexterity and acrobatics. Dexterity, Milo, acrobatics, Zashida, to try and like get this guy down.
Acrobatics.
So just okay.
That's a strength check, right? Basically, because acrobatics
Acrobatics is dexterity.
is it?
Yeah, athletics is strength.
Yep.
Wait, did I say athletics and acrobatics?
You said dexterity and
Ah, that's what I thought. Sorry, Milo, athletics. Zashida, acrobatics.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Nat 1.
Oof.
And what is acrobatics again?
It's dexterity.
Right. Oh my god, 7. I'm rolling crap now.
I mean, noted he's on fire, so. So I'll say it just takes y'all longer. Milo, you might have gotten like
take a
a
little damage.
little burn here or there. We'll say like maybe 5 damage hitting you. Just from
Okay.
like incorrectly coming at him and like the fire just like licking at you. But eventually y'all are able to like get him on the ground.
And yeah, Zashida's trying to like pat the fire off of him, like trying to stop him from being on fire. Like, she turns to Mazera and she kind of like tosses her the bucket. Get some more water.
As I
Right
come
away.
over with my water skin, which holds like a full cup of water, I start pouring that on him.
Just like
Helping?
psst.
Just a cup of water.
The
Blaze her up.
image of this man on fire, freaking Klugel just pouring his little tiny drops of water, and Mazera in the back like hauling this giant pail with her halfling hands. It's just
Yeah, Mazera's got this full bucket of water, and she's just trying to drag it over.
If I see her struggling, I'll help after.
So eventually, y'all are able to get this man out, fire-wise.
Does he still have that horrified look on his face?
Yeah, but he's kind of like staring up at the sky now, just like mouth open, mouth agape, just.
Do we recognize him?
No, you wouldn't. You haven't met him yet, from what you could tell.
I mean, he probably has some burns on him, so I'm assuming he's injured.
You do notice that there's still like a little bit of fire, like on the pocket of his jacket there, Zashida.
Can I just pat it off, like just
Yeah,
tap,
yeah.
like just pat. There we go.
As you pat it, you kind of feel that there's like a envelope or something inside the pocket. It kind of like crinkles as you.
So thinking that it might be something important to the guy, she does take it out to make sure it's not like burned through or anything.
The edges of it are kind of like licked with fire, kind of like if you hold a flame to, I don't know, parchment for too long. But the letter itself is still intact. The thing that catches your eye is the fact that it has the same seal that the invitation that you got earlier had on it from Strahd.
Yeah, her face just turns white.
What's the matter, Zashida?
The seal. Does it look familiar to you?
It's the same one we received.
I'll show y'all what the seal looks like.
I wish I could see it, but I can't.
So under the items, under the handouts, there should be one that says Strahd's Crest. If you click that, that's the seal that's on these.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. So is the guy on the ground? Is he still alive or is he like dying?
He's conscious, like he's blinking every once in a while. He's just not saying anything, and his stares just like 1,000-yard stare into the sky
Sir,
as he's like,
would you like some healing, sir?
Yeah, I cast Cure Wounds.
Aside from patching up some of the burn marks, he's kind of like in his same state of fray. Like even when he was on fire, it didn't seem to affect him.
Well, he has 9 points of healing, so he'll be fine. All right, shake it the fuck off. We got shit to do.
And Zashida kind of like shakes the guy like, sir, snap
Oh.
out of it.
I don't think that's quite how that works.
And
Should we?
And he
out
kind
of
of like
desperation, Zashida kind of like slaps the guy across the face.
Jesus, there goes that healing.
he like looks at you and he kind of like draws up a hand and like points at the letter that you're holding.
Is this for us?
I don't. Maybe it's what caused him to catch fire?
Maybe the one of us who's least flammable should read it.
Jeez, Krugel.
I will open and read the letter.
Okay, let me just make this.
It says Ignito. And
There should be one crow that says Kolian Indrirovich's letter.
Got it.
There we go.
All right. I'll start reading my Hail to thee of might and valor. I, a lowly servant of Barovia, send honor to thee. We plead for thy so desperately needed assistance. The love of my life, Irina Koliana, has been afflicted by evil, and evil so deadly that even the good people of our village cannot protect her. She languishes from her wound, and I would have her saved from this menace. There is much wealth in this community. I offer all that might be had to thee and thy fellows, if thou shalt but answer my desperate plea. Come quickly, for her time is at hand. All that I have shall be thine. Kolyan Indirovich, Burgomaster. I was like, wait,
That's
this sounds new to me.
that's an odd term.
That's the one I was supposed to read, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because didn't the guy we just talked to,
What's his name?
whatever the lesser, was like, oh, he doesn't
Ismark?
give. Yeah, Ismark. He's like, oh, I don't give a shit. Or like, my dad doesn't give a shit.
And here's the letter. Like, Dad giving a shit.
Yeah, dad giving a shit. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Sir, how did you catch fire again?
He's not answering.
I'm still trying to ask.
After he points at the letter and you open it, he kind of like passes off and goes well, not unconscious, but like goes to sleep.
Okay. He passes.
Is there a bench I could just put him on? I'm just pop him on the bench. There you go.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's on the chapel steps. Somebody should
He's
be able to
all
help him out.
tuckered out. Oh.
Perhaps we should tell Ismark about this.
I
Yeah,
agree.
seems a little in opposition to what he told us.
First I've heard of it.
Well, you were busy.
I see.
So are y'all going to the church or are you going back to the tavern?
Well, Mazur wants to get some holy water, so she's gonna go to the
Same.
chapel first.
Okay. So as y'all enter the church, it's pretty large from what I can tell. let me make sure that. Where's the... That's the manor. Is that it? No, that's not it. Where's the church? Okay, there we go. Once you walk in, all the pews and everything are kind of like smashed to pieces. And it's kind of like the church has been like decimated recently.
And Zashida kind of looks around and she's just
Doesn't
like,
look good.
"Is anyone here?"
You don't hear anything.
So much for that.
Well, that's not a good sign.
I guess we'll have to do without holy water.
I'm gonna do a quick investigation just to see if I can see any. Does it look like it was abandoned? Does it look like, why is this empty?
Okay.
Okie dokie. 18.
Yeah, you're able to tell that someone just kind of like trashed the place in a hurry. Let me make sure I'm not reading out of. You're also able to notice that there's like claw marks on the door to the church.
Oh, fun.
So I'll bring that up back. So there's some claw marks here. That's normally not a good sign for a church to have.
Can I make a survival check to see if I can find any tracks?
Sure.
15.
Sure, yeah. Let's see if it says what. You're not able to hear or see survival things, but you are able to hear like a faint moaning.
Coming from where?
Kind of like below where y'all are standing, like underneath.
Underneath.
Yeah, Zashida kind of like gets down on all fours and puts her ear like against the ground, listening.
You hear
Not good.
like soft utterances of what can be like a chant, like prayer, but because it's like a floor below you, it kind of like sounds like a murmur.
Something's going on below us.
Could we find an entrance to the basement, perhaps?
Sure. And at this point, we are gonna take like a 5-minute break. I'm going to put this map up, and then I'm going to use the restroom because I haven't used it yet.
Fair enough.
And we will
mile break.
begin.
Oh boy, I'm ready.
We will die with our one unsilvered javelin.
You can all die.
I mean, hey, whoa. I'll be fine. I'll just gotta stab with it. All right, I can still do some stabbing.
Okay, cool.
I was
Okay.
not going to be throwing that. Oh, don't get it twisted. I understand. That's why I took it. I was like, oh, let me drop off all my shit. No. I don't have a dagger. I ain't got shit. All I have are jabs and a hammer. We keep one of these bad boys just in case.
I believe in you. You give me the javelin, I could throw it. You just punch things.
No. You can use whatever the fuck you got. Your robo hands.
I literally have electric.
hands.
That's my melee weapon. Is my fists empowered with lightning.
Nice.
Yeah. See,
Literally catch these hands,
Okay.
and soon I'll be able to throw them, so I can throw them at people and tell them to catch my hands.
Yeah, I mean,
Throw
don't
your
get
hands.
twisted.
Catch these hands, fool.
And then I have a perk that allows me to pull them back to me, so I can literally throw my
Oh
fist and pull
my
them back.
gosh.
Don't get me wrong.
It's awesome. It's great. I love.
Don't get me
I love
wrong.
these
I
guys
was
so
really
much.
hoping that old boy was like about to die, so that way I didn't have to use cure wounds. I could have just used spare the dying. But spare the dying is a cantrip.
Oh, yeah,
Cure
that's
wounds.
true.
Hell.
I have cure wounds too. Two. We're good.
How do you have cure wounds?
I'm a robot. I don't know.
Sweet. Well,
Oh, you're
5
an
minutes.
artificer.
5
Alright.
minutes.
BRB.
Be right back.
That's where I'll
And
have
I'm
like
back.
my voice, my game audio. I will typically have that like lower.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to have that loud all the time.
Hi, Stacks.
Hi.
Welcome back.
So yep, y'all are back in the church.
Oh, goody. There's a map. All right. I hear the pitter patter of a puppy.
Pitter patter of a puppet dog.
That's Kiko.
Over here just making a racket. Don't they know?
So
D&D, gotta be quiet.
So, as y'all can see, the chapel is in shambles, with overturned and broken pews littering the dusty floors. Dozens of candles mounted in candlesticks and candelabras light every dusty corner in a fervent attempt to rid the chapel of shadows. At the far end of the church sits a claw-scarred altar, behind which kneels behind which there's a couple of holy symbols, and like as y'all initially were coming in here for, there's a few vials of holy water. Yeah.
Okay. Jesus. I see. So you said you were hearing something down below us.
Yes.
I begin searching for a way down. Like, do I see any stairs, ladders? Actually, no. In this initial room, I guess I wouldn't.
Nope. There's like a rope that leads up to the bell tower, and then for the most part, no. There's windows.
But there's the 4 rooms in the back where we came in at.
Yeah, there was rooms to your sides when you came in.
I began kind of searching those rooms, starting with C and then B.
Okay.
Should we perhaps take those vials of holy water? Could be of use.
Probably
I
wouldn't be a bad idea.
There
I'm sure
are
they
a
won't
total
mind.
of 5 vials of holy water.
Woohoo!
I'll take
I
one.
will. I was about to say I'll take one if that's okay.
Yep. So who's taking what?
I will take one.
I take one as well. So I have one of them.
And Mazura will take whatever's left.
That'll be 2 left, I believe.
Okay, yep.
Okay.
All right.
So which room are you searching first? C or B?
We'll start with C because that'd be the closest one to me.
Okay. You walk in, doors not locked or anything. In C, what is C? You're able to see like a scripture book on the counter, another couple of holy symbols, and from what it appears, it seems to be the priest's bedroom of the chapel.
Okay, and there's all right. So I'm kind of just glancing around. I don't see any doors or anything that would lead down.
Nope, there's just like a bed in the room, and yeah.
No blood, nothing like that in here.
Nope. The room's dirty. This room contains a wooden bed with a straw-filled mattress, next to which rests a small table with a oil lamp burning brightly on it. Mounted above the bed's headboard is a wooden sun-shaped holy symbol, and again you see like the scripture book and holy symbols and
Okay.
pretty much.
All right. All right. I leave the room, closing the door behind me.
Oh, okay.
And
Are you able to control your guy on
Let me see. Yes, I can.
Okay.
I
Sweet.
see. I bounce out of there and then head into B.
Okay. B is This dirty, lightless room contains a wooden bed with a straw-filled mattress as well. Mounted above the bed's headboard is a wooden holy symbol.
Okay. Nothing in here. Same thing. No blood. No
No blood or
trapdoor,
anything
nothing
like that. No.
All right. All right. These 2 rooms are clear.
As he's checking those two, I would be checking the ones that
Oh,
lose him.
and Sarah
so-
can't move her character, so I'll have her come down.
Nah,
Yeah,
she stays
thanks.
up there.
I'm trying to get on roll 20, but I cannot.
Yeah, it's probably not going to work
I was
for
gonna
you.
say, let's not overload the phone. Let's
Yeah,
just
the phone's
be
like,
happy
I'm
that you're
doing
still
my
sober.
best.
But yeah, start with room E, and then I'd move down to room D.
This is good. This just means I have to do more theater of the mind so that the podcast listeners will be able to know what's going on as well, because they're blind. We should do this more often.
It's the theater of the mind. Of the mind.
Sorry, what were you saying, Klugel?
I was saying I would be doing the opposite of him when he was searching those other rooms, so I'd start with E and then move down to D.
Okay, so E seems to be the office. There's an old desk and chair stand against the south wall. Wooden holy symbol mount above them of a sunburst. A 10-foot long iron rod attached to the north wall stands bare, suggesting a tapestry once hung there. Against the far wall stands a wooden cabinet with 4 tall doors.
Ooh.
So like 2 open and then 2 open next to each other on the same cabinet.
Oh, so it's already open and empty?
No. It's just the animation for it's open, but it's actually closed.
All right, I am gonna open them. I'm like, oh, well, I'm here.
Okay. Wooden cabinets contain very little. Inside are a tinker box, a few wooden boxes full of candles, and 2 well-used books. Hymns to the Dawn, a volume of chants to the Morning Lord, and The Blade of Truth, the uses of logic in the war against diabolist heresies, as fought by the Olmist Inquisition, a strange book that mixes logic exercises with lurid descriptions of fiend worshipping cults.
I'm gonna take that one. This could be an interesting read.
Uh,
Also, I'm gonna grab a couple of candles.
Okay.
I do not have dark vision, if I remember correctly. So candles would be nice. Walk out, nothing in there.
A tinker box is just like a matchbox, right?
Tinderbox. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, tinderbox.
Yes, I already have one. So leave it.
Okay.
I'm not trying to steal other stuff. I'm not,
Oh,
not a criminal.
You're not a
I'm stealing
criminal.
Some of their
Oh
stuff.
my gosh.
Book,
And
what was
then
that book again? Book of.
the second book was The Blade of Truth, the uses of logic in the war against diabolist heresies.
Blade of Truth, guys.
Pretty much,
But,
yeah.
yeah. So I walk out of there and go down to room D.
Okay. So time and neglect have punched holes in the ceiling of this moldy room, which contains a few broken roof shingles, and puddles of water. In one corner, set into the floor, is a heavy wooden trapdoor held shut with a chain and a padlock. A young man's screams of anguish can be heard through the door.
I like peek my head back out. I'm like, hey guys, I think I found it, and this place is probably. I don't know if. Come take a look. Come take a look.
All right.
I follow.
And Mazura follows as well.
Okay, so you all like cramp your way into this small room. Bop, bop, bop. So when you come in, you're able to see that, yeah, the room's more or less moldy. There's like drippings from whenever it rains or the mist kind of like perspirates into the room. But what's noticeable is the trapdoor that's kind of like off in the corner of it. It's like locked down, which is odd. But the padlock itself is unlocked, so someone must have recently gone down into this area. Otherwise, it looks like it's normally kept locked to another foothold that's like a grounding point near the trapdoor.
Okay. I'd take the padlock off of it, and then kind of fling the door open.
Okay. It opens up relatively easily with like a creaky sound. It's kind of like been built there for a while. And there's like a set of stairs that go down into the church.
I keep the padlock on me, and then I continue to. I start heading down.
Okay.
Well, might as well.
Yep,
Watch
I'll
your
follow
step,
him.
Milo.
Much obliged.
Is it dark down there? Like,
Yeah, relatively.
alrighty. Well, Zashida's gonna take out her torch
Okay.
because she don't have dark vision.
Let's see her trying to light her torch. I'm like, oh, yes, yes. And I kind of like clap my gloves together and I start glowing. Magical tinkering.
That's an interesting ability.
Like, yes, it's scientific, and I start like trying to explain it to her as we're walking down the stairs. I'm like, you see, if I imbue these with magicules and
Do I have any understanding of what he's telling me?
No, it's kind of all like jibber jabber to you.
Zashida kind of like gives him like this like you okay smile and kind of just nods, smiles and nods. Yep. Mm-hmm.
it's not very bright light though. It is only 10 feet total, so her torch would be more effective. But glowing gloves, come on.
Hell yeah. Okay, so
As we're so we descend down, and what are we seeing?
So the room's like not really well lit. The only thing that's lit is what y'all have brought down here, the torch and the glowing hands. You can hear like
Do we
the
still hear
mumbles of
do
the
we-
chant going on
Okay.
in like
Yep.
the corner of the room. And as the light like flickers, oops, I didn't mean to draw that one.
Is a square.
You like hear this man like stop and like look over to you, and he's like, "No, who are you?"
well, I'm Milo, and what the hell is going on down here?
Bit of family business.
Yeah,
I kind of like try to peek at what I imagine is a cage.
Yeah.
yeah, that don't exactly sit real well. Who the hell are you?
I am Donovich, the priest here.
What happened upstairs?
Upstairs?
You know,
Yes,
little
the
chapel.
steeples have been crushed.
Oh, yes.
Claw marks on the door.
The chapel was attacked recently, last night.
By what?
Fiends. Werewolves. You never know these days.
And your idea, all right. Well, what the hell are you doing down here then?
My son. He's not, doing very well.
Does he need healing or something like that?
I beg your pardon. You say you were the priest with a son?
Yes.
Right. This is like a. Never mind. Why are they in a cage?
Again, I say, he's not doing very well.
Define not well.
He's out of sorts. He happened to come across the marching of the dead the other night.
Marching of the dead.
Yes. Every night, here in the village of Barovia, there's a thing called the Marching of the Dead that takes place at midnight. The fog kind of sweeps in, and the spirits of the dead kind of come to life and make their way on a long walk to Castle Ravenloft.
That
Oh,
sounds horrific.
Yes, well, the spirits of the dead are the ones that Strahd has slain. Their spirits are not allowed to leave this place.
how many spirits are we talking about here?
Hundreds, thousands. It's kind of hard to judge them all based on. Some move through the woods, others take the path.
So, what did the March of the Dead have to do with your son?
My
What happened?
son was traveling. He was making his way back from... What is it? Valaki? Wherever that place is. Map. It's the map. I'm the map. Valaki! Yeah. He was making his way back from Valaki, and his travels ended up causing him to come across when the marching took place. Normally, it's advised to not travel that late at night, and if so, to at least not be on the main roads and find some type of shelter, but my son did not heed said warning.
So, your treatment method was to lock him in a cage in the bottom of a chapel?
More or less. He seems to not be himself. I'm not sure if he's safe for the local populace.
See the sun from where they're at?
You can kind of see like this hunched over young man, like kind of whimpering in the cage off to the corner.
Do I notice anything off about him?
Yeah, kind of like how the priest is saying, he's a little bit off of sorts. He's kind of like got a little twitch to his idle movements.
Oh,
I'm gonna do
fun.
a quick insight on the priest. See if he's telling the truth.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the same.
Well, that's a 2, so I'll just
Yeah, you
don't even tell me anything. I'll just he's telling the truth, guys. I believe this man with every
17.
fiber of my being.
You two are able to say determine from what he's saying is there's not really any malice or deception that you can detect in his voice. His voice is kind of hoarse, but other than that, nothing out of the normal.
My prayers are with you and your son.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Is there any way to speed up his healing, or what is the treatment for this? Would be a better question.
What is wrong with him exactly? Do you know?
I'm not certain. I'm not exactly sure what he saw during that death march, but it couldn't have been good for him to return in this state.
Well, we were coming here originally to look for some holy water. You wouldn't by chance have any?
And he kind of like reaches over to his side pouch, and you notice that his hand is like bandaged up, and he like grabs a couple of vials and hands you like 3 more. Here, this
Excuse me,
is.
sir.
Yes.
I can't help but notice your arm. What happened?
I take the holy water, by the way.
Yes. Again, my son's not well. He
I'd like to go over and give a medicine check to the son.
And Zashida, she's kind of, not gonna lie, she's kind of a little sus. The guy's not telling her like exactly what is going on, what's up with the son, what's up with his arm. So she's kinda getting a little frustrated.
Okay.
This is how a zombie outbreak happens.
17 you rolled?
Yes, if he allows me to walk over to his, just walk. I'm not sticking my arms in, but I'm like looking at him like, I want to be no robo werewolf.
So you're able to see that his hands are like kind of like covered in blood. Some of the skin on his fingers have like peeled away as if he's like been clawing at something.
Oh God.
Oh god! Anyway, be right back, guys. I'm gonna be driving home.
Okay.
Right. I think Mazura's gonna try to do an insight check as well here.
Okay. Do it with
So-
advantage because you're determining the susness.
And I kind of walk over to Paul and I'm like, do you want to like maybe detect good or
13.
evil?
Okay. You're kind of able to determine he's not telling the whole truth. Like, what he's told you so far has been true. He's just not telling you all of it.
All right. Well, I've had about enough. Are these like pillars actually there?
Let's
pillar
see
things
if
there?
it says that they're pillars or what they are. They might.
So I imagine that's what they are. Like there are things like obviously like support the upper floors.
Yeah, they're probably just support. CG. The church's undercroft has rough hewn walls and a floor made of damp clay and earth. Rotting wooden pillars, strain under the weight of the wooden ceiling. Candlelight from the chapel above slips through the cracks, allowing you to glimpse a gaunt shape in the far corner, which is the guy. Yep.
All right. I draw my javelin and I kind of point at the priest's neck and I kind of like pin him. Essentially, so I move around so that way I'm like kind of not pinning him necessarily, but like kind of putting his back to one of those rotting pillars. All right,
Okay.
I've had about a fucking enough of this.
Imagine
What
this
the-
sight.
Yeah, a 3-foot man with a javelin pointed at his fucking neck.
Language.
I've had a fucking enough. What the hell happened to him? Because I got a bad feeling whatever is afflicting him is now afflicting you based on your damn hand. So if you want any help in this, you're gonna start answering questions now. I'm going for an intimidation.
Yeah, go for it.
Bam, baby, 24.
Nice. He's like, please, violence is not necessary. I
push the
simply
javelin closer into his chest, like into his chest. That's not exactly what I asked you, was it?
I simply want my son to be better.
Yeah, and by not telling us what it is how is that gonna help exactly?
And as that's happening, the young boy kind of like looks up at you, Klugel, and like kind of like claws at you, but doesn't quite make it because he's in a cage. And you can see his eyes are like red, and his teeth have like noticeable fangs coming off of them.
So, is your son by chance a werewolf?
I don't think he's a werewolf.
Perhaps maybe becoming a vampire servant? He's got some fangs. Fangs are a telltale sign of somebody not being much human anymore.
He kind of nods and he's like, yes, I suspect something else happened after he saw the Death March.
Well, I'm
Might
not
want to
exactly.
treat that wound there on your
Yeah,
hand.
I'm not entirely sure how to cure that. Mizra, you got anything? You
I'm
want to
not
go take
really.
a? You want to go take a look at the man in the cage safely?
I'll go take a look, but I'm not sure there's much I can do. So Mazura goes over to take a look at him as well.
Ooh, I do take like a clove of garlic. I'm like, testing, and just like chucking at him and hitting with the garlic.
So
He kind
I
of
would
like
roll-
hisses a little.
I would roll what, medicine?
Medicine or nature, whichever one is wisdom.
Okay. 16.
Okay. You're able to see there's like telltale signs of some kind of vampirism kind of taking shape. His skin's kind of like dying off, getting a lot more pale. The blood to his veins isn't as noticeable in sense that it's a living person, more that like the veins are just kind of like there as decoration. And his mannerisms aren't very healthy in the regards of it's more animalistic or like feral kind of.
It
What do we
seems
got
like
over there?
it seems like some form of vampirism.
And as y'all are like staring at him, he's like, he hisses and he's like, I can smell your blood.
You mean their blood?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we got about one cure in mind for that.
I think we should
And,
leave that up to the priest.
Nah, I don't think we should. The priest, upon finding his son, who is obviously unwell, has put him in a cage in a basement of a chapel instead of handling it. And now he's infected. A gesture towards like the scratches on his arm.
It's
So
but
in
a
other
flesh
words, we got-
wound.
Uh-huh. It
From
might
a
have been.
vampire.
Did he scratch you or bite you?
He clawed at me.
Hmm. Well, what are you thinking about doing with your son?
Whatever it takes. We cannot allow abominations to roam the lands.
And why
My son
haven't
is
you
no
killed
different.
him yet?
Because if there's
What?
a way to help him, I would rather seek that out.
Well, if you know a way to stop a vampire, then by all means, please share with the rest of us. Because the only way I am fairly aware of how to take one down is to, well, kill them and remove their head.
Is it garlic? Can I chuck like another clove at the sun?
He like hisses more. He's like, "Huss."
Maybe not. Minimally effective. Taking notes.
I'm afraid my teachings have not taught me anything in regards to how to reverse a vampiric event. I am mostly praying and hoping that something should arise. A
Something
solution.
should arise. Well, I have an idea.
I look at the sun and I cast Sacred Flame.
Oh Jesus!
Oh gosh!
Right next to it, just like ah!
What's the save
So-
for that?
It's a dexterity save.
Okay.
He's got to beat a 14.
A 9. That's a no.
Okay. And would he take... Hang on. The target takes 1d8 radiant damage. But because... Okay, so I'll roll the 1d8. Alright, so that's 6 points of radiant damage. But since he's undead, doesn't he take...
If he's fully undead.
If he's fully undead, I guess. It depends on if he's actually weak to radiant damage right now. But regardless, I hit him with 6 points of radiant. Or at least, right as of right now, 6, if not 12, depending on his other stuff.
So it has sunlight hypersensitivity, so I guess that would be the equivalent, and it takes radiant damage equal to 20 damage whenever any of that types comes at him. So in
Jesus.
conjunction with your 6, he takes an extra 20.
Whew.
And he like hisses out in pain. Ah, it burns!
It's funny because he cut out on Discord, but I could hear him still on on the stream. I'm still screaming on the stream like, ah, it burns! But for us, it was just like, ah! And then cut out.
It's too high pitch for Discord.
Exactly. So is that thing? So is he still alive in there, or is he?
Yeah, he's still alive.
Okay. So yeah, I hit him with that. Is his father doing anything?
Sorry, I'm doing math. He looks at you. He's like, please spare him. If he becomes a vampire, I will deal with him as necessary.
I think the if is kind of going out the window. He's got fangs. He's already scratched you. Not sure how much more. What's next?
So what happened?
The
Milo
guy in the
used his
cage?
sassiness and used sacred flame on the boy in the cage.
Okay, first and foremost, it was determined that the boy in the cage is turning into a vampire. Let's not just say I'm not just attacking people in cages. All right.
Reference my video.
The man in yeah, I did. I saw that. I appreciate it. So the man in the cage, so the boy in the cage has been turned into a vampire after seeing the death march and all that shit. He has then scratched, quote unquote, clawed his father's arm, and he doesn't know how to stop the vampirism. But then he has also been like, I'll do whatever it takes. We can't allow these things, even if it's my son. So I was like, cool. You don't know how to cure it? I have an idea. And then I hit it with Sacred Flame. And I actually hurt him, I guess, pretty good, but not enough to finally kill him. And his dad's now asking me to spare him, which is now where you come in.
So, too long didn't read. He's murdering children.
You said it yourself. If he is, in fact, undead, then he's already gone. And considering how far he is, gesturing to the fact that his eyes, like how, the cue back to the description that we were given of him being, his fingers being like damn near exposed from clawing at stuff, his eyes being bloodshot, his skin becoming deathly pale.
Oh, he can smell our
And
blood.
And the fact that you can smell our blood, which, by the way, normally not a good sign. And the fact that he already attacked you, yeah, no offense, your son's gone.
And he kind of like just stands there and looks down.
I still have the javelin in his pointed at his chest, like it's still locked in.
I hate to do this to you, Father, but it's for the best.
He's
turn
my
back.
boy. He's my only boy.
I turn back to the kid and I cast Sacred Flame again.
Oh gosh.
This is how we don't make friends.
Can Zashida stop him?
Oh nope, that's
before
another
he
fail.
casts
Nope.
I mean,
believe-
okay, hang on. She does get a react. She could, in fact, take a reaction.
But is it
To do what? Say, ooh, that's a
Ask me
pretty
to-
flame coming out.
Well, as I'm going. Okay,
Verbal,
so
isn't it?
here's. Well, hang on. Let me actually double check how Sacred Flame is actually cast. It just says casting time 1 action. Yeah, so it's a verbal component and a somatic component. So it's a verbal component. So as I would go to cast it, she could in fact try to stop me. Because
Okay.
it is technically 6 seconds, or 6 seconds of my last time. So I could, as I'm going to cast it again, she could try to attempt to stop me.
What you doing, baby?
I'm gonna do everything in my power to stop him, interrupt his sacred flame. Violent, don't.
I hesitate. I stop. I pause right before casting it.
There has to be some way.
I'm open for all. I am open to suggestion. But as far as we can tell, he's gone already.
Garlic
No
seems
knows
to
how
be
for
ineffective.
Are you really willing to risk leaving him here?
And Zashida kind of looks to the boy here. He seems to be well locked up for now. Not like he's running rampant.
I then gesture towards the priest with his arm.
And what happens if that turns out to be more than just a flesh wound? Are you saying that that when the boy goes full vamp, you ain't gonna be able to bust out of that? Last I checked. Well, hell, from the stories I've heard, vampires are a bit stronger than your average. I'm not saying I'm not enjoying this by any stretch of the imagination, but I am worried about if we leave, what does that do to this town?
But we can't just go about killing people.
We can't go about killing the undead.
That's not what I said.
I invite you to take a look. I really do invite you to go take a look at him.
I understand where you're coming from, Milo. However, what if there was a way to cure him? And then what, Milo? Would you have that on your conscience?
What happens if there's not? Are you ready to have that on your conscience? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Your good intention trying to save this one life could damn all the others in this town.
And Ishida kind of like shifts her gaze to the ground. Very well. Do what you will. Clearly not happy about it.
I was gonna say I glance over at Mesra and at Klugel, seeing if they're giving any other retort to stop me or to try to change my mind on this.
Mazura's
No,
not
just-
happy about it either, but she understands the situation.
Just Not saying I'm staying out of it, but I'm kind of, whatever the best option is.
I cast Sacred Flame.
You already did it. Well, he already failed it, so what's your damage?
It's another 6 points of damage.
Plus 20!
So another 26 points of damage.
Sweet. Again, he burns, cowers in like the corner of his cage, just like, ah!
He's still alive? Holy shit.
Yeah, he's the vampire spawn.
I was gonna say, damn, dude, that's 52 points of damage. Alright, I mean, god damn it. Klugel.
Yes.
You got some of that holy water, right?
I certainly do. Referencing to the bottles that were given.
Use that.
All right. And I kind of pull out one of the bottles and like, kind of flash it on the vampire.
So that one does like radiant damage, which is a
Let me
20.
look. Get up real quick. Holy water, improvised weapon, 2d6 radiant. Yeah, terrible roll. Well, not terrible. One good, one bad. Yep. So that's what I do. 7 radiant.
Okay. How many vials did you throw on him?
Just one.
Okay. So 27. He's not looking too hot.
Okay, so that's still, but that did a substantial amount of damage to it. I was just verifying that holy water does shit. The
Yeah,
whole reason there.
because
And,
of his
Klugel, that is 100%
weakness.
what is happening right now.
Yeah.
The Colonel Mustang just
Anyone has seen, yeah. Anyone has
Full
seen
Metal
Full Metal
Alchemist
Alchemist, one's
Brotherhood.
killing envy with the fire.
Oh
I'm just like,
god.
Jesus.
Zoshida is clearly severely disturbed by what's going on. So she just takes herself and goes back upstairs.
And the priest goes over to him. He's like, "It's my son. I should be the one." And he takes out one more vial of the holy water and he like dunks it on him. And you watch as the radiant energy like shoots off and causes him to like dissipate, like his skin ashes off, and from his skeleton he like turns into like a pile of dust in the cage.
I'm so sorry, Father.
I walk up to him. Klugel, I'm gonna see one of those vials.
The holy water vial?
Yep.
Yeah, and I hand him one.
I take it. I kind of like throw it at the priest.
It just shatters against him.
Well, I don't. Let me.
Or,
rephrase,
sorry,
I don't
it's
throw
just,
the vial. I like
sorry.
kind of like flick the water at him.
It just like hits his clothing and stuff and him.
Okay.
Sorry, Father, I just had to make sure.
I kind of cap it and then kind of give it back to Klugel.
I'm sorry for your loss. But I couldn't leave here with the risk of that terrorizing the rest of the town.
He's kind of just like staring into the cage at the ashings of his son.
I kind of place my shield upon the ground, like, and then kind of just do a little prayer for the boy's soul, essentially. Just something to the extent of,
you know, Lord Killamore, please guide this unfortunate soul from this realm to the next. Though it was not his fault the darkness besieged him, he had to be removed from this earth far too soon.
and then he just kind of bows his head for a moment, and then picks his shield back up, and then begins to head back up the stairs.
The father just kind of like shakes his head a bit. Tears are like coming down his face.
Mazura offers him one more look of sympathy, and then she heads up the stairs as well.
Google just
I'm just kind of hanging out looking, but nothing much more for me to observe. There's no words to be said, I believe. There isn't by chance like a collections plate or something along those lines up here, considering everything's destroyed.
No,
I'm not a crook. I'm not gonna steal stuff. Their collection plate by chance.
I feel bad.
You're just gonna like give money.
In. Got it.
Here's money for your dead son.
Sorry, I thought you meant you were going to take money from the collection plate. I was like,
that we just Colonel Mustanged in the basement.
Poor man. We'll come back maybe someday to help. For now, maybe curing the vampirism around here would be best.
one sacred flame at a time.
So y'all make your way outside of the church. Let's say roughly 2 hours have gone by.
I'm gonna collect my things from the blacksmith, and then we'll be clear to head out to Castle Ravencross to talk to the Strahd himself.
I'll accompany you.
And as y'all kind of make your way off, transition. Well, that's really close. You make your way back to the blacksmith, and just as she said, 2 hours later, she has them all ready, lined up. She's kind of like bundled up the javelins for easier carrying. As you and Mazura walk in, she's like, "Oh, you're back. Here they are, ready as I said."
I'm much obliged, thank you.
And I put the javelin that I have on the table, and then kind of scoop the silver ones up there. I kind of inspect them a little bit, just kind of like looking over the craftsmanship.
It's pretty well done, especially for such a rushed job that she's done. But I guess her experience kind of helped her in the fact of making it a suitable for the market take on silvering weapons.
Did a phenomenal job. Much
Yes.
obliged.
Well, if you have any more business, you know where to send them.
Absolutely.
I then pick up the hammer and kind of do a quick check and a quick a little flurry with it a little bit, just to kind of like make sure the weight's still good. And
It feels slightly lighter, oddly. Like, better lighter, not like she's carved out like...
yeah, she hollowed it out.
I do ask while I'm there, I'm like, do you by chance have any silver bolts?
For crossbows?
Yes.
Yes, I have a bundle of 20 for 1 silver apiece.
I'll take it. That's the bundle for silver, right?
Yeah.
All right, then I'll take a bundle.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Once we got our stuff, I mean, unless somebody else has any other stuff, then we can start heading back to the tavern.
Mazura's all set.
Okay.
Yep, good to go.
Head back to the tavern.
As you head back to the tavern, nothing out of the ordinary.
It's like, what do I want to fuck you up with?
But let me roll real quick, and
It's like, and you get 30 vampires show up, not happy that you killed the guy in the cage. Like, fuck. Where?
You guys, it was a bad idea.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, oh, I told you.
Sacred flame, sacred flame, sacred flame. I got something for that ass. Ha 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 ha.
Just covering myself in holy water. Come at me!
I mean, see, here's the thing, right? If somebody gets enlarged, right? We enlarge the little, the vial of it into like a jug, and then we can just hose them down.
Just get a fire truck full of holy water.
Just drown them in holy water. All right. So yeah, we make it back to the tavern, and I mean, I would guess we talk to old Pablo to get us on the road to castle.
Yeah.
he comes over, looks at you. Are we off then?
Yeah, I'd say so.
We're all ready to
At ease we'll
go.
ever be.
And he kind of like makes his way out of the tavern to his caravan. The mist isn't much, so it's gonna be a bumpy old ride.
Bumpy, you're right. Of course.
Kolglo sits in the same spot with a now metal plate above him.
As always, he helps the two ladies into the caravan.
Thank you, Pablo.
Thank you.
My pleasure. And as soon as everyone's seated, he closes the door and you're off.
Well, that was fun. Oh Lord,
Are we cutting it here? Because like we're okay. Let me rephrase this. I gotta start getting ready for work. So are we cutting, or are we like trying to go for longer?
Just a couple of more minutes.
Okay. all right.
So you're making your way down. You've been riding for I knew that was gonna happen. Most of the day. And the caravan kind of like saunters off, and like the whole thing kind of like shifts, and then you feel a large like dump.
What was that?
And then the caravan kind of like leans slightly towards Klugel's weighted side.
Brace myself for my
Pablo?
PTSD.
Just a moment. And the door of the caravan opens, and you can see that one of the wheels to the caravan has kind of like broken off.
of course.
Well, this
Well
is a
then.
predicament.
You want me to try to fix that?
If you could, sir.
All right. I have no clue what I'd try to roll to make a wheel out of all my scrap parts and then attach it to the car. Let me look real quick. Not nature, not investigation.
Survival, maybe?
Perform.
All right. I can do-
Performance!
Performance. That's charisma. It's not. How about survival? That's what we're in it for, right?
Okay, yeah.
All right. I will use my smith tool, so it's not like I'm just doing this in the dark.
Okay, so do it with advantage.
All right. 19.
Ah, nice. So yeah, you're making it through. You're getting your pieces together while that's happening. There's this fog that kind of like sweeps into you.
Fuck.
Except I don't breathe, so you know.
Zashida's going to. What should I roll to just like keep my eyes and ears open for anything not friendly?
Perception.
15.
So you start to see like these wisps off coming from the village towards y'all. And as those wisps get closer, you see more appear behind them. And then as they get even closer, you can identify that they're like these spirits walking towards you in this like death march.
Nice. I think we need to get off the road.
What's wrong?
A march is coming.
You mean like the one that the priest described?
Nods.
Shit.
They're coming this way.
And as they walk closer to you, one of them kind of stands out just at happenstance. And it's the son of the priest. And his spirit is just like walking and walking and walking. And each of them has that same familiar, like, 1,000-yard stare that you saw from the man that was on fire earlier in the village as they make their way, walking and walking.
So are they walking at us or just like
They're
towards
walking
where
towards the castle, which just happens to be
I thought they were
between
we're just supposed to,
you
like-
and where they're headed.
Okay. So yeah, we should. I would say jump back in the caravan, but I think that's probably not going to help us here. Yeah, we just let's just get away, get off the road. Yeah. Just kind of begin to back up and kind of try to get out of the way safely as I can without falling into some crazy shit.
Okay. Y'all make your way off the road into like the wooded area nearby.
Mm-hmm.
And you see like these different there's wisps and there's like the spirits even walking through the forest, but they all don't pay you any mind as they like kind of like beeline it towards the Ravenloft castle. And you can tell from all of them that they're all just like, this one looked like it might have been a paladin. He has like armor on himself. Another one looks like they might have been like a rogue at one time. But all these
These two look like they were paladins. This one looks like he could have been a royal lord.
Oh no!
Might have looked like your guys that you came here with. Remember those guys?
Maybe if I would have thought about that, I probably would have, might have just tossed that nugget.
You can't just change up. You can't just.
No,
change
I'm
up the
joking.
story now.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. But yeah, all these spirits look like past adventurers.
Dope,
Failed
dope,
attempts.
So, do we have to go to this castle? I know you guys got dreams, but I didn't get any dreams.
Well, based on the sheer volume that we're seeing here, I imagine if he really wanted to, we ain't standing much of a chance of hiding.
Not wrong. Well, onward.
Like right now.
I mean,
Well,
what else?
Then we need to, well, I don't know, maybe try to fix the damn wagon.
I mean,
Do you not have a spare wheel on this thing?
as I'm holding the wheel. I got this crap wheel.
It goes on for roughly 10-20 minutes max. as all these like spirits like walk off, and then the mist kind of like follows into them, and you've noticed like you can't really judge the time, but it feels like it's gotten noticeably darker.
We don't have much time. We have to get to the castle.
Gotta make haste then.
Yep.
Right. Oh. In your? He says after Klugel's able to get the final touchings on the wheel. All right, the mists.
Yeah, whatever that means. And I hop into the cart.
He helps the two ladies in. Milo sits down, closes the door, and you're off. This time you're taken into the air. And before you know it, you all land shortly after. Apparently, it's faster to travel by mist than it is by land. And the door opens, and Pablo, like, again, helps out Zashida and Mazera, and he's like, Castle Ravenloft. And he, like, looks off to it, and it's this big looming castle off into the distance, not far from where you are. This is as close as I can bring you, I'm afraid.
Thank you, Pablo.
We appreciate your help.
And as you are there, you still see the souls of the past people kind of like walking into the castle.
Well, let's not act like we weren't invited here, guys. And I start walking forward.
Sorry.
Take caution, Klugel. As she follows after him.
I feel as if he wants us dead. We'd be dead.
You make it across the walkway over the bridge that leads to the water door main area. Insert picture on stream.
What's he gonna do? Drink my oil?
Ew. Spicy. The doors are open, spirits are going in, y'all are going in. And at the main area front, Lady St. Cloud stands, and she stands there with open arms, and she's like, welcome. I was not expecting you. You didn't burn the piece of parchment, but nonetheless, welcome to
shit. Were we
Castle
supposed to do that?
Ravenclaw. Ravenloft.
Was that just gonna teleport us right there?
Probably.
Oh shit! I didn't even gonna lie. Wait, am I holding? No, I'm not holding the letter. They didn't give me that. They didn't give me that responsibility.
Oh yeah.
Whoops.
Welcome to Castle Ravenloft. My master awaits you. And she like gestures towards the main door that's also open that leads into the castle. And as the spirits are kind of like walking in, we'll end it there. For this episode, at least.
Fuck.
Just for your information, Stacks. A person can become a vampire that is any humanoid, and technically Warforged are humanoids. So.
Oh gosh. Just imagine he gets like these metal teeth pointies that just attach.
Hold on. Vampirism is technically a disease, correct?
It is a curse. According in 3.5, it was a disease. In 5e, it's a curse.
Fuck. All right.
So I am not doing
The Warforged.
Paladins. Yeah, if only it's a curse, so we can't get it.
Unless I cast anti-curse. I don't
Oh, we could have saved the boy!
Oh gosh!
I have no idea.
it's-
I don't have that spell. Not to mention that, like, look, I'd already burned 2 spell slots, and I was like, what third spell slot? Oh, by the way, would I have been able to have taken a rest during that drive? Like that would have been a rest period during the.
We'll say
half-day
that
travel.
the mist gives you a rest in the traveling portion. So yeah.
Dope. I was gonna say I forgot I took 5 points of fucking caught on fire damage.
That happens. It's also a pretty beneficial ride because you all are now level 5.
Hey!
But that's future us problems.
Hey, look, I got a shiny new hammer and 5 shiny javelins, which I have a feeling I'm going to need to give to some people to give them a little bit of a boost.
Oh gosh.
I got my crossbow bolts.
Well, yeah, but I mean more of as far as like, all right, cool, stab. Like, it's only a 1d6, but that's a 1d6 with magical properties. So when these fucking spirits start showing up, just fucking stab.
But yeah, tune in next time, everybody, for episode 3 or chapter 3, as we finally get to have a nice conversation with old Strahd boy.
I don't know if that's gonna be a nice conversation.
Oh,
I
sure.
feel like you're lying
It's
to your
gonna be
viewers.
food. It's gonna be fun times.
I feel like you're gonna be lying. I feel like you just lied to your viewers.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just saying.
Oof.
They
He's
never
gonna
said
be-
if we were the food or not.
Yeah, you never know. The feast might be all. Like, food will be had. Just saying. But yes, we will continue this in 2 weeks with the 3rd chapter and see how far this rabbit hole goes. And also tune in this Friday for episode 3, I think. Yep, we're on 3 for Waterdeep Dragon Heist, because that one's also getting pretty awesome, especially with the dead cleric that does more damage than the bard boy. But we won't talk about that. We won't talk about that. It's too soon. It's too soon.
The dead player.
Yep,
Okay.
guy I made in less than 10 minutes does more damage than another party member, but we won't speak about it because that's
Some people build characters for combat. Some people build characters for roleplay.
Yep.
you know?
Well, sure. Yes.
Technically.
Go with that.
We'll go with that. But yes, thank you everybody for joining, and we will catch you all the next time. Au revoir.
Bye.
Later.